Ladies and gentlemen, both and neither, this is that time of the week we like to celebrate Facebook for the Blind, a show for the visually and Facebook impaired. I'm your humble host, Eric the Kevin Bacon ordered on Wish Sizemore, joined by my beloved co-host, Andrew Class Squatch Teedy, and Michael, for some unbeknownst reason, Quiet Labune. They will be back
Quiet
with
Michael.
They will be back with some.
Not Michael Diamond.
I'm putting the nicknames in the middle. All right.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, both and neither, before we get to their funny meme, first, the depressing news. Oh, that's not right.
Woo!
That's not right. That is not right at all. There we go.
Everything's wrong.
Everything is awful.
Everything. Yeah, exactly. So, yes. A trademarked, copyrighted, incredibly important component of Facebook for the Blind, the depressing news. Lots of news today, a lot of reruns. You know, they're still talking about Rupert Murdoch, knowing that his people were lying, that everyone on Fox was lying. And, I don't know. I mean, it's great that it's in print and it's in court, but who didn't know this? Jim Jordan this week had some crazy testimony where he called up his FBI whistleblowers to face scrutiny from Democrats. The thing is that the whistleblowers were fake. Basically, there are 3 or more former FBI agents who were suspended or lost their security clearances because they were either at the January 6th insurrection, or they supported insurrectionists, or they refused to arrest white supremacists and domestic terrorists like the 3%ers. So one of the guys was ordered to go in and he's like, I'm not going to do it because this is overkill. And it's you can see the guy on videotape at the Capitol with an AR-15. But you think maybe at his house he's wearing kid gloves? Give me a break. Anyway, bunch of butthurt FBI, guys that couldn't do their jobs are now being called whistleblowers. And I think it was Rolling Stone had the best that said Jim Jordan's testimony opens with a face plant, which was about right. Let's do some good news. Marijuana shop on every corner in Oklahoma because they just voted on full legalization. That's right. Oklahoma has embraced medical marijuana with some 400 dispensaries in Oklahoma City alone. So, fun in Oklahoma. I got a reason to maybe go there. I don't know, possibly. Hey, you guys know about this company, Blackstone? They own everything in the world, and they're part of the reason that property is so expensive. Well, it turns out that Blackstone blocked investor withdrawals from $71 billion in their own funds back in February. Can you imagine if you went to the bank and you're like, hey, I'd like my $71 billion, and they were like, no. So that's interesting. They also defaulted on $500 million that they owed to another company. So I don't know, Blackstone's not having that good of a time, and if they collapse, maybe the real estate market will collapse with it, and maybe some of us could buy a house. I don't know, maybe, probably not. Speaking of millionaire billionaire types that are really dumb, FTX, headed by this Sam Bankman-Fried, who's seen here being led away in cuffs, has lost $9 billion. Just vanished. $9.3 billion that were in the customer accounts are gone. And I'm wondering, did they check the couch? Whenever I lose money, it's in the couch. Almost every time. Just saying. And I read the whole
Great
story.
Great shot of his bodyguard, by the way.
Yeah,
his bodyguard saw this picture and was like, I look fucking tough.
That's true. That's so funny. I didn't notice he's wearing the same jacket as Trump's lawyer Cohen. Michael Cohen's got that same suit. Funny.
He doesn't fill it out like him, though.
No, that's true. That's true. He does look like some kind of Batman character, though.
He looks like Dean Malenko. Isn't that right, TD?
He looks like he ate Dean Malenko, but
yeah. All right, good times. Google has denied using an AI algorithm to pick which employees to fire. It's which is I don't know if when it comes to when politicians say they didn't do something, I suspect they did. So, anyway, one of the first commenters says, of course they deny it. The AI told them to. Speaking of billionaires making stupid decisions, Tesla's headquarters is leaving Texas to return to California because Elon is a smart-brained person that does things right the first time. Twit. Florida man has died from a brain-eating amoeba. And there apparently is a huge outbreak of brain-eating amoebas in Florida. And I know what you're all thinking, like, wow, a brain-targeting amoeba. You just wouldn't think that would come up in Florida.
God damn it. Here we go.
Boston, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, Florida man in the news also. Action News Jax reports a Florida man charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon after he threw an alligator through a drive-through window at Wendy's. Top comment.
Frosty?
Top commenter, my man Ben says, Florida man armed and gators. So, as you may remember, one of the usual suspects on this show, Marjorie Taylor Greene, had made a big stink all across the country by calling for a national divorce. And Sean Hannity, has even stepped in to try and help MTG clean up her succession mess, but it's not going well because, it's just terrible. And what I just think is funny and nobody has mentioned is that Marjorie Taylor Greene just completed her own divorce back in November. So it's been 3 months, and she had so much fun getting divorced, she decided the whole country should do it. Isn't that hilarious? Just, what the hell? Anyway, you might remember her divorce was pretty funny, too, because Marjorie Taylor Greene has said before in the past that marriage is a wonderful thing, and it is between a man and a woman and a couple other dudes and her gym instructor and a guy named Larry. Friend of the show, Rudy, posts this picture of Lake Tahoe and the Sierras from space, and they're covered in snow. You can see lakes, and they're just framed in white, which is very unusual in the deserts of Nevada.
Yeah, eat shit, science.
Yeah. So anyway, there you go. It snowed all across the country. A lot of weird weather going on. As we were talking about before the show, Michael, you said that you heard about 10 feet of snow in the San Bernardino Mountains. Woo!
Yeah.
That is too much snow. A judge has denied a January 6th defendant's bid for time to review McCarthy's Capitol security footage. You see, McCarthy thought it'd be a brilliant idea to give like 70 billion hours of footage directly from the Capitol Police to Tucker Carlson because, he's an investigative journalist like 60 Minutes or, 2020 or Frontline, Tucker Carlson. Anyway, so now several judges across the country are listening to requests mid-trial of January 6th insurrectionists saying, hey, we want to look at the footage. And judges are mostly saying, why? Like, what is going to be in there for you? Give me your best case scenario. Like, we've already seen footage of you with mace and bear spray and a club, on the grounds. What could possibly be in there? Also, we found out this week that one of our intelligence agencies decided to say that maybe the COVID-19 virus escaped from the lab in Wuhan. And they also said it with low confidence. But everybody who heard the Tangerine Tornado former president who said, it was a lab leak, they're all vindicated, and they're just shouting it from the rooftops. And people are screaming, yes, we are vindicated. It escaped from a lab, and it is a Chinese bioweapon. And one of my favorite responses says, now, if it was a Chinese bioweapon, that would mean the largest, most deadly attack in America happened during the Trump administration. And instead of fighting back, he sent food and medical supplies to China while he told us to ingest bleach and shove lights inside ourselves. I also saw about 21 tweets where he praised Xi, President Xi, Premier Xi, whatever, the leader of China. He's doing a bang-up job, doing a great job. So, yeah, it's tough with these guys. South Carolina is considering the death penalty for women seeking abortions, while gun-related crimes carry a maximum 10-year sentence. Let's just read that headline again, just for a moment. South Carolina considering death penalty for women seeking abortions, while gun-related crimes carry a maximum 10-year sentence. And if you missed it, Jon Stewart had a state Republican, not a federal Republican, but a state level Republican on his show, and the guy was super duper absolutist, Second Amendment, and he's just like, and you've put forward a bill, to stop grooming and outlaw, transvestites and stuff. He's like, but how many children were killed by transvestites? What's the number one killer of children? Because it's not transvestites. And the guy was, I don't know, it was really good. It was a really good
he eviscerated that guy.
Oh.
The guy starts talking about, he says, like, he's asking him, are you infringing on the rights? Because this guy was really stuck on this, right? The Second Amendment shall not be infringed upon. So then he's like, what about freedom of speech? Aren't you infringing on this, like, these drag queens' freedom of speech to talk? And he's like, not, they have the freedom of speech, but not the children. And he says, why? And he says, because in some cases, the government has a duty to protect children. And Jon Stewart goes, excuse me, what?
Yeah, what was that part?
And he goes, what's the number one killer of children? I'll give you a hint. It's not drag queens.
Fuck.
More than cancer, more than car accidents, guns. Like, that's it, man. Like, fucking, you could see it on the guy's face.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm fucked. Like, there's no way out of this. Like, yeah, he absolutely eviscerated him. It was a really beautiful thing to watch.
Nice. Made a good point about registering to vote too, which I thought was great. And he's just like, "Is that not?"
Yeah.
Because that's not infringement. But yeah, he really led him through it, and it's like the constitutional education here is just. I guess we need to hire more comedians to do this to all our politicians.
Honestly.
To give them a little reminder of like, hey, remember laws? All right, most of the way through the news here. Illinois has an assault weapons ban, and of course, another downstate judge has ruled against the Illinois assault weapons ban because I don't know. I don't even understand.
Southern Illinois is the southernmost point in the United States. You can't get further south than Southern Illinois. That is some fucking regressive country down there.
For those of you who don't live in Illinois, I would like you to know that Champaign is safely in the northern part of the state. The south starts 9 minutes south of here, okay?
Is that really what they consider like Southern Illinois? 9 minutes away.
Bologna, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that is insane. That means that when the next Civil War breaks out, we're ready for it.
Yeah,
culturally, yeah, that's right.
But before the Civil War, we should go down there for like a midget wrestling act or something else down there.
Hell yeah.
Monster.
I mean, there seems to be a big market for it around here.
9 minutes south, huge market. All right, moving on. Turkish Competition Board said Monday it has decided to fine billionaire Elon Musk 0.1% of Twitter's gross income in Turkey in 2022. And you're like, yeah, sticking it to the man. And then you remember, oh yeah, wait, but since Elon took over, Twitter's not making any money. Twitter's losing money. Right. 0.1% of negative, well, it's a negative. Turkey's gonna owe Elon. We like to close out with a heartwarming animal story. I thought this is pretty good, actually. There was an entomologist who saw this really cool bug on the outside of an Arkansas Walmart and just like clapped his hand over it and just carried it through the store while he did his shopping. Then he went home, mounted it with some pins, and stuck it on a wall and forgot about it. Then he busted it out while he's teaching an online class, and in the middle of explaining, oh yeah, this is this kind of insect, he realizes, oh, it's not this kind of insect. And then he figures out this is a Jurassic era insect that has not been sighted in the United States in 75 years. And no one has any idea how it got to Arkansas. Just reappeared. This was around when the dinosaurs roamed the earth, and now they're back in Arkansas. So, yay. It's kind of fun. The big news this week in animal stories was that there was a clam that was found that was born the same year as Abraham Lincoln. Florida man making his third appearance in the show. We haven't even gotten out of the news. Florida man finds a giant clam estimated to be 214 years old. Look at that. Clam Lincoln. 214. And you know that fucker is fried and breaded right now. has been the news from Facebook for the Blind for March 7th, 2023. And now, on to my beautiful co-host, Michael Labune, with a nice, long round one.
Round one.
All right. Kicking off round one with I'm Every Woman at OK But Still. Friend of the show, I'm Every Woman, OK But Still. Says, when a guy at your work dies, all his PTO flies out of him like Sonic Ring. Middle Class Fancy, friend of the show, Middle Class Fancy.
Thanks for listening to an
Not
episode of
Middle Class
Facebook for the Blind.
Too
Follow
fancy.
us on Facebook, Twitter, and
They
Instagram.
retweet Norman at Emo Normie.